Hi there, I'm Suzanne, your friendly Stampin' Up demonstrator in Canada. Welcome to my monthly paper pumpkin alternative video on my YouTube channel and blog. I share 5 alternative ways to use the kit in this video, and I sell the products I feature as well. I hope you enjoy my free video tutorial and would love to see you sign up with me as a Paper Pumpkin subscriber. Visit sunstampin.com for more information. Hello everyone, welcome to my Paper Pumpkin alternative video for March 2021. This box is called Here's to You. I'm excited to get into the kit. And on the inside there's a little paper from Stampin' Up, and it shows some examples on how to utilize the stencils that were inside the kit. They are not necessarily a part of the kit, but they gave just a few examples on how to use it. So here is the stamp set. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sentiments, some flying birds, a floral, and a tree stamp. This Stampin' sponge is included. It's not necessarily usable in the kit, like you don't have to use it for the kit, but you can use it for the stencils. We're actually really lucky to get those because those sponges are retiring. You won't be able to purchase them in the next catalog. So here are some of the stencils. There's a cloud and there's a mountain motif. There's a couple of different ones. They're layering on that particular one. This is the sunburst one and the star one. And I had a weird kind of a film on my star sheet. I was just trying to figure out what it was. It didn't really scratch off, but it doesn't affect the stencil whatsoever. So I'm not sure what it is. All right, I'm digging in to get my kit. Of course, it is shrink wrap for weather and everything on the inside. You're getting samples of 8 really, 2 different kinds. That's what it's supposed to look like if you follow the directions that are on the inside. And of course, the back side gives us, what our kit includes. And then it also gives 3 more examples of alternative ideas. And I also have, like I said in the introduction, I'm a part of a group that does alternatives, and if you are a subscriber of mine, you will get the PDF, and I think there's 16 now in our group, so we get 16 examples of how to put this card kit together alternatively. All right, here's my sponge. I am very familiar with sponging. So what I usually do is I cut it into quarters, and then with a big long scissors, if you can, then I take a little piece of cardstock, and it normally coordinates to whatever ink that I want. And I staple that cardstock so that my fingers don't get icky. And that's how I usually store one for every color. I'm going to be using that shaded spruce. So this is a negative piece that comes from after picking out all those die cuts or laser cuts. And what I've done is I've taken my Tombow and I've sort of smeared it around the images of the tree and the grass. And then I let it dry. I'm going to adhere it to the paper here, or my card base. And then I'm going to cover everything else that I don't want to use, and I'm going to mask that off. So basically what I've made is my own mask, and it is of this tree and ground image. So I am trying to utilize some of the kits that, in case you wanted to duplicate this particular alternative, you wouldn't need much. You're not going to cut like stuff away from your card kit if you did put it together. So I always save everything, and then I use everything as much as I can. All right, so this is Post-it notes. I've masked off what I don't want to be used, and I'm even just taping that down because I know I'm going to go over it with my little sponge here. So I'm going to take my Post-its and also like mask off everything that I don't want to get dirty, basically. So Post-it notes are awesome because they have adhesive on one edge, and everyone usually has a few in your home. If not, you can go pick them up at the dollar store really inexpensively. That's where these ones come from. And I can reuse them if I want to, or I can recycle them and I don't necessarily feel too badly. All right, so I do have shaded spruce here, and I'm going to season my stamp. So this is just a scrap piece of paper, and I'm daubing in the ink, and I'm daubing onto my paper. And what I want to do is sort of, like I said, season it. I want to make sure that some of the ink is sort of absorbed in, and it's not too scratchy when I put it onto my project. So once I've seasoned it, the ink transfers much easier from my sponge to my paper. And because there's like really tiny little bits and pieces in those trees that are sort of poking, and I don't want to upset them too much. So I am going over very gently. It's not necessarily in a smoothing motion. It's more like a tapping motion. I'm not doing a circular motion like I usually do, but this is how you do it. You go very slowly and sponge. It's such a great, fun technique. Now, you can wash these sponges out and reuse them for different colors. I just happen to enjoy using one sponge per color. And like I said, these are retiring. So they're not going to be in the Stampin' Up! Product offering for next year in the catalog anyway. So it is kind of special that we have them. And I just wanted to show you how to use them in case you wanted to pick some up before they get, sold out and retired. This is Night of Navy, and I do like to do sometimes two-tone colors. For that top strip, that's what I wanted with Night of Navy, and I don't know, but I added just a little bit of blue to the trees, and as the color sort of gets absorbed into the paper, it left a very light, I don't know, it was very sort of a dark green almost, like it really didn't read blue after I was finished. All right, so I'm removing the Post-it notes, and then I went from the corner that didn't have any adhesive to easily or softly pull back. You don't want to pull too hard just in case that glue stuck. And I know it looks spotty right now, but it won't be. It mellowed completely out. All right, this is a Night of Navy pen, Stampin' Right ink pen, and I flicked the nib in the cap and I made some splotches. I really like to do that. It's lovely. And then I've inked up the Here's to You sentiment and with the Night of Navy as well, which is almost like considered a neutral these days. And I stamped the sentiment with it. And now I've also stamped the inside with it. And that says congratulations. And then just wrapped the twine 2 times around and tied a neat little bow. And that is my first card alternative. It is kind of on the masculine side. I feel it has sort of that outdoorsy look. It could be a really nice retirement card, I thought. Or, a birthday, whatever. I just adjusted that twine in place and trimmed off the excess of that bow. And that is my first card. Moving on to card number 2, I am using that star stencil. And here's some more post-it notes that I'm using for a mask, as well as, well, just protecting my card base. And it also kind of held the mask in place a little bit so that I was able to use some more of the sponges so that I could create this card. So I seasoned up 2 sponges. This one was Calypso Coral, and the second one that I use in this is a yellow called Mango Melody. I quite like this ink. And it is giving me a 2-tone color of sort of that Calypso Coral, which is a coral color, and Mango Melody, which is sort of like a bright yellow. And mixing the 2 together makes a really pretty peachy orange color, which is lovely. I'm trying to create sort of like a diversity in color. It doesn't necessarily transfer well on the video, but oh, maybe it does. You have some lighter and some darker stars. Then I'm using the Happy Birthday that came in the stamp set, and it's very tiny, so it's really understated. I quite like that. And then all I did was added a linen bow. You're not going to see that here, but you will see it in the stills. And that is card number 2. Moving on to card number 3, I'm using the Pretty Peacock card base that came in the kit. And I'm also using the envelope paper and just a piece of white cardstock. So I sized that cardstock to 4 and 5 1/4. Then I cut down the envelope paper, which I quite love this pattern, 3 7/8 wide and 5 1/8 long. Beautiful layering, just a little sliver, my favorite kind of look. And then I'm just adhering with some dry adhesive the envelope paper. I'm going to call this the rectangular paper to the basic white paper. And then I'm going to adhere that all to my Pretty Peacock card base. I'm going to be sad to say goodbye to this in color. It is going away. It is retiring. We won't be able to get this ink color anymore. I heard it all sold out. So we're very lucky to get this actual color in our paper pumpkin kit. So this is the extra little bit of the envelope paper, and I'm just gonna cut out the Pretty Peacock rectangles. I've put a dimensional adhesive on the back. I have stamped Happy Birthday on the little label that came in the kit, and I'm using just a little bit of a dauber, and I'm just sort of edging very softly, and I could have used the sponge for this as well. Dauber is just really accurate. It's a nice tool, and I'm gonna say goodbye to this color. I'm celebrating this color. I've put dimensional adhesive on the back of the Happy Birthday. These are mini Stampin' Dimensionals that came in the paper pumpkin kit, but you can actually purchase them from Stampin' Up. Absolutely. I'm removing the release paper, and I'm adhering. I put the Happy Birthday down right there, kind of 1/3 of the way up. And now I have my rectangles with dimensional adhesive, like I said, and I'm just going to apply them to where some of the Pretty Peacock rectangles live. So not all of them, but some of them. And then I'm going to use my Wink of Stella, which is a clear glitter brush pen. It just has sort of like a little sticky resin in it, I guess. It's not like a glue, but whatever liquid is in there, it makes the glitter stick. Moving on to card number 4. This again is a layered card, and I'm using a envelope paper. I have my trimmer here, and this was the card base that came in the kit, and I've cut that down to 5 inches wide and 3 3/4 inches high. The envelope paper I cut down to 5 1/4 by 4. And then this basic white piece I have cut down 4 7/8 to 3 3/4. Hopefully that helps you. I know I've been asked for measurements before, so I just wanted them layered. So this is the stamp that has some flowers on it. I have a blender pen here. This is sort of a blender pen that's on its way out. It's not super juicy, but I'm able to ink up the stamp with, I used Old Olive. I went with the suggestion of the, in the kit, it says your kit includes, and it also gives you a list of colors that are coordinating. So Old Olive is the color green that I'm using, and then I'm going in with my blender pen, and I'm sort of picking up all the Old Olive that's on the stamp where the flowers should be, and now I'm coming in with my Calypso Coral marker, and I'm coloring all those blank areas. I don't breathe on it because I always find that that leaves sort of a spotty look. I just hope that my ink doesn't dry on my photopolymer stamp. So I inked it up again. I am using my blender pen to pick up the green off of the flowers, and then I am coloring with my marker the flowers and the tips of those, I don't know, they're like plants, I guess. The one thing that I noticed, oh, that was my dryer, sorry. The realization is true. I'm doing laundry while I'm doing this voiceover. Anyway, so what I did notice is that it came out better if I was to clean off the stamp in between each, so that I didn't have a buildup of weird colors. Orange and green don't always go together, or coral and green don't always go together that well. They do, but for flowers and greenery for sure. But when you mix the two together on a stamp, sometimes it could get a little muddy. So I just cleaned off my stamp after each time. And yeah, it looked like a bunch of, I don't know, a flower bunch. And you can see that, yeah, there I go, and I clean it off, and then I ink it up, and I use my blender pen to pick up that color. I'm doing the whole thing. I'm not just skipping through this because I want you to see that it is easy enough to do. If you have, a little bit of time on your hands. What else can I tell you about this? This could look just fine with either it green or, the coral color, Calypso coral color. That's fine if you didn't want to take that extra step. But this is a little extra step. I don't know what you could use instead of a blender pen. Maybe a felt pen that has run out of juice. I'm trying to think. I wouldn't suggest a Q-tip so much. I think it only kind of works with a blender pen, maybe a dry tipped paintbrush, like that has a decent nib on it that you can scrape away the color. It's a hard one. I think it only kind of works with a blender pen, but you could find alternatives for sure. So I did use the pretty peacock color, and the sentiment of this card says, may your journey through life take you to many new and exciting places. So I'm thinking that this is like a birthday card or a encouragement card, or, you know, a bon voyage card. You never know. Or retirement card. Cool. So I wrapped, I've adhered my basic white piece to that pink piece. And then I'm using my twine that came in the kit and wrapping that around twice and tying a pretty bow. And I think I gloss over that bow making because, you know, it's hard for me to make the bows on camera. I get stressed out with the bows, to be honest, because my cats watch me when I craft, and my cats, you know, with the string, well, you know, they like playing with it. And I do normally enjoy playing with them with the string. So when they see string come out, I mean, we're in trouble. I'm not nervous that they're going to, you know, strike out at me. Of course not. They're not cruel animals, but they are playful, and I am sometimes a little I'm under pressure. So I do try to gloss over it. Sometimes the kitty's little paw would come right out and try to, you know, sneak some screen time, I guess. All right, so what I did was for the back here, I wanted it a little bit more stable than what I had with my mini Stampin' Dimensionals. So I just peeled off the whole, I call this the bones of the Stampin' Dimensionals. And I was able to sort of cut those into larger pieces. And I was able to get a little bit more of a sturdy feel to this card. Those Stampin' Dimensionals, it would have took me forever. But I did adhere the string down and it's all adhered well. So I used some dry adhesive here, some Stampin' Seal Plus, and I've adhered my flower pieces. That's a envelope paper, and I've adhered that to a basic white thick cardstock. And I've often said, if you want to do the alternatives with me, it's always good to have some white card base on hand, because that's what I normally go to. And now I'm just folding it, and there is a lovely layered card. Okay, card number 5, and Quinn is here purring on me. So I have, these are leftover pieces. They are sized 3 3/4 long or wide and 3/4 high. And I've created sort of a pattern that I like. I'm putting dimensional adhesive on every second one. And then on the pink color, I'm going to be putting just dry adhesive and the stamp set. Sorry, the sentiment. It's late. So I stamped that in Calypso Coral, and then I'm just putting dry adhesive on that one. Here is my basic white card base. I'm putting the cloud leftover. And that was from a different project, but I do have a little strip left over. So, and then I do have this flowered piece, and that came in the kit too. It's just I'm not showing you that project. All right, so this is the combination that I've done. I haven't pressed anything down. I need to adjust it. So it goes cloud, then crumb cake, then the rectangle paper, then the extra little bit that I got off of that one card base, and then the flowers that came with the cloud. Sorry, it's hard to explain. I have some leftover pieces. How's that? And now this is the twine. I just made a little bow. I attached it with a mini glue dot. You could use the glue dots that come in your kit. They're not my favorite, and they are one extra step. I have to take off that release paper. So I adhered my bow right there. And you guys, this is the last and final card. Thank you so much for watching. And I want to encourage you, if you want to see some stills, you're welcome to come to my blog, sunstampin.com, and that's sun with 2 N's. All right, I'm off. I will see you again soon. Thanks for watching, and bye for now. Hey, thanks for sticking around to the end of the video. On screen are 2 more videos for inspiration. Click on the maple leaf for my blog, or click on me to subscribe to my channel. Thanks again for watching.